Hello, everyone. This is Vinod K. Pandita. I'm a business transformation coach and profitability specialist. Friends, today I have come here to share with you how you can build a recession-proof business. And this video is for all those entrepreneurs and business owners in MSME space, especially who actually are struggling with the recession, which actually happens because of the external or internal factors where it doesn't allow your business to operate in a normal condition. And these situations, these outages, these things, which actually hamper your business on a daily basis or on a quarterly basis, the companies become, prone to recession. They are not able to really grow. They're not able to really move forward in the circumstances they actually are going through. So I'm going to share with you a small presentation where I'm going to share with you that how you can actually make your business recession proof. So today's presentation or today's session is all about how to build a recession-proof business. And I'm also going to share with you 10 steps of business continuity, which can help you to really make your business recession-proof. So I hope that you take away something very valuable from this presentation, from this video. And I would like all of you to like, share, and comment in the comment box, because this video can actually transform the way you are looking at your business in the times of crisis. Friends, as entrepreneurs, there has to be an entrepreneur's mindset, and entrepreneur's mindset is that you are better prepared for future. You are better prepared for those risks which are bound to come, or maybe which can come anytime in your business. But the preparedness is something which any entrepreneur must, and every entrepreneur must be ready with. So today I'm going to share with you something very powerful, and I'm sure that you will really get benefited out of this. The first of all, I would like to tell you that what is a recession. Recession in business means when the business is not generating revenue for minimum 2 quarters in a row and unable to meet fixed costs. When we say business is in recession, the reasons are many types of crisis, both internal and external. Now, what does it mean? It means that for example, if you have a issue with the market, like for example, sometimes you are working in a certain business environment and you have been thriving in a certain period of time, and then something happens that you are not able to really sell your products and services to the defined customer or to the target customers, because the customers have got something better than your products. Now, that is one scenario. Another scenario is that you are catering to a certain market, but the market conditions have changed because the new technology has come and your products and services do not really meet the requirements of the market. Now, there can be many such conditions external to your business, and there can be certain conditions which are internal to your business, like there can be some outages, there can be some plant shutdowns, there can be some human resource constraints, that you don't have enough people for actually making sure that you're delivering your products and services to the target customer. Or there can be certain reasons where you probably do not have the right supply chain systems in place, or maybe something goes wrong. So one of the reason is that first of all, we need to understand that what are the objectives of this particular preparedness, which every entrepreneur must understand. That first of all, that in those days of crisis, in those days of outages, when things are not happening for 2-3 quarters, so how to maintain productivity in the times of crisis. So this is number one. This is the objective. This is something which every entrepreneur must understand. How to plan future of uncertainty. This is number two. Number three is how to develop business strategies to recover from recession. Now, you might have experienced that recently everybody has gone through a big crisis of COVID-19, and there have been companies who have really thrived in those times, like education sector. Even if there was nobody going to school or college or university, but still education sector started thriving in just 1.5 months, 2 months, because they went online straight, and everybody was ready to take that and adopt that technology. Now, those companies, those businesses who could not really pivot at the right time, they actually suffered a lot, and most of the companies, especially MSMEs, shut down their businesses. Then the next objective is that what immediate actions can be taken before recovery from any crisis. Now, for example, if something gets extended, something goes for a longer period of time, and you are not able to recover from that crisis, like COVID was, it was there for almost 18 months to 22 months. But there were companies who were operating in these times, but there were certain companies who actually shut down after 3 months because they could not really see, or they were not having any mitigation plan of this kind of crisis or the risk which they encountered. So there's another objective which can be looked at by the entrepreneurs, is taking 100-day challenge to manage any crisis. Now here, as a business coach, as a business consultant, I have been into this business for the last 26 years. I have always given a 100-day challenge to any entrepreneur or a business owner, that even if you have the worst case scenario crisis, in your business, you have to take a 100-day challenge. Now it is for both reasons. One, for the reasons of how you manage the crisis, and there's another one, is that you have to really take your business to the next level. You have to learn new things, you have to adopt new technologies, you have to do something better than what you are doing in the past year. How you can actually take your business, and how you can take your business to the next level, how you can scale it, how you can make it more profitable, how you can add more customers, how you can actually enter new markets, how you can actually build better teams, how you can actually create systems and put your processes on autopilot. So there are many things, which can be done on both ways. One, when things are fine, when things are going great, then how you actually move forward. And there are situations when there are crises, how you actually can handle those crises. So now both these things are very important in business. So if you don't have a very clear-cut objectives, in your business, that what to achieve, how to really overcome your challenges, you will not be able to really survive through the crisis, or survive through those situations where you need to change, right? So then the next one is that, if you see here on the slide here, because I wanted to, because I don't believe in too much of a presentation or PPT mode, but I would always love to talk to you more than showing you some slides. But here I wanted to share with you certain facts and certain figures, or maybe some visuals, which can actually be more meaningful to all of you to understand what I'm trying to say. So there are different kinds of crises, internal and external, like, for example, ransomware, supply chain failures, fire, terror attack, pandemic, like what I explained to you, strikes in big companies, flood situations, power outages, equipment failures, your cyber threats. There can be many issues, hitting your company or hitting your business, where you have to really be prepared to deal with these kind of crises, right? So what are the 4 outage scenarios in our business? One is site outage, like the office and the factory and the setup, the facility is having some problem. Maybe there is some theft, or there is some power disruption, or there is some strike, or there is some kind of major equipment breakdown and stuff like that. The second one is technology and communication outage. As I said, the cyber attack, or probably the internet just broke down in that particular area where your factory or where your office is. Maybe personal outage, like people went on a festival mood, and they went lock, stock and barrel, they went to their villages, and you don't have labor, you have a labor crisis, and you are not able to really achieve the productivity which you want to achieve to deliver those products and services to your customers. And sometimes the vendor outage, like there are vendors who are very critical to your key partners, or critical to your business, and they decided not to work with you because probably you have not really satisfied them in terms of commercials, in terms of really giving them some kind of support system as a customer, right? So you have to actually look into all of these conditions, which actually are sometimes responsible to bring your business to a halt. So you have to be very, very careful about these things and be aware of these things. So what are the challenges of MSMEs I would like to share? Because I have been talking about this at many platforms, at many levels, in my online courses and in my online sessions, that what are the top 10 challenges of any MSME. So first one, I would like to emphasize on the reduction in sales volume. During the recession time, the first thing what hits is the reduction in sales volume. The next one is reduction in sales price of product and services, because customers probably have do not have the budget or do not have enough buying power because of crisis, because their income is also strangled. They are also suffering, so they are not able to really buy your products. So this can be another challenge. Delayed collection from customers or increase in bad debts. So this is also one of the challenge which MSMEs can experience during the crisis. Difficulty in managing working capital and fixed cost in business. So there are certain fixed costs, which companies have to, but there is no working capital because there's no cash flow. There is not enough sales happening. So obviously the revenue is not getting generated. And once the revenues are not there, but the expenses and the costs are fixed. So how do you deal with that? So this is another challenge. Then the next one is non-availability of funds from banks, financial institutions, and investors, because you don't show them enough orders or enough resources or enough things happening in the organization. That is why the banks also do not have enough confidence in you to really give you loans and debts. The financial institutions also become very careful in doing that. Then difficulty in planning and budgeting the future uncertainties of business. This is another challenge, which most of the MSMEs experience. Increase in price of raw material, which is bound to impact your margins. Now, for example, if the markets are very uncertain, during the crisis, where there's a demand and supply issue and the raw material prices go up, because your final price, your MRP, your the pricing of the product, you cannot change, because it is determined by the market, it is determined by the customer. So there is a huge difference, because in my experience, there are many industries, especially in plastic product manufacturing companies, where the plastic rates, once a polymer rates really hit the ceiling, and these companies suffer tremendous amount of loss in those 1.5 years during the pandemic times, because the prices really hit the ceiling. They were finding it so difficult to really earn some margins out of their products, because they were under pressure to sell also. But the customers also were not paying, the distributors were not paying, and on the other side, the raw material prices went up significantly. Then the reduced performance of employees due to risk and uncertainty, because employees are also not sure whether their job is certain or not. They are not given confidence. They are not empowered by the business owners, because business owners are not certain. So it's a cycle of distress. It's a cycle of disappointments, where people also stop working. They are not giving their best because they are also very uncertain. It's a psychological deterrent, for most of the people, especially at the average level of salaries, maybe 3 to 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. So these people suffer a lot, and they are actually people whose performance is very important for the industry, for the companies, and they actually reduce their performance because of psychological deterrence. So another one is difficulty in adoption of technology, digital presence, and digital marketing in your business, because of the budgets don't allow them to do that. So once the budgets don't allow, obviously what happens with most of the companies is that they are not able to really do something new, adopt new technology, and that therefore they face another challenge, because if they don't do it, then they are not able to really grow their business. So all of this is actually putting the companies spirally down, in terms of the growth and profitability. And last but not the least is the difficulty in understanding government taxation policies and other schemes, other regulatory and issues, which government comes up with new schemes, new regulatory, new policies, and this poor MSME is not able to really understand what's going on, and that is also one of the challenge which actually impedes its growth, and MSMEs suffer during these times of crisis. Okay, so I would like to share with you now a very powerful 4R approach to mitigate crisis, any kind of crisis you have. I've already explained you what kind of crisis your business can really experience tomorrow. So understanding the business continuity, there is something called business continuity, and there is a standard around it, there is a process around it, there is a complete system around business continuity, which I teach and I consult my clients. But here is something very powerful. See, there are 4 R's which you have to understand. One is that you should be able to respond. You should be able to recover, resume, and restore. So these 4 R's are very important. Now, if you see here, time versus performance, you will see the normal activities happening, and there is one incident which hits your business, like, for example, pandemic, or maybe vendor outage, or maybe power cut, or maybe equipment failure, or maybe fire, or maybe ransomware, or maybe cyber attack. Any activity, any incident which happens in the normal course of activity, really hits your business and everything stops. Now, if you see here, there's a gap in between, and then the layer 1 restoration happens after some time. It may take 3 months, it may take 1 month, it may take I'm not talking about a long haul. I'm talking about even small recession, small time recession, maybe 1 month recession, maybe 2 month recession. But as I said in the beginning, the definition of recession is when your business is not happening, when everything gets stopped for at least 2 quarters, that means 6 months. If you are experiencing something like this, and you are actually you're experiencing something like this, and you think that, okay, it's getting stretched now, so you have to prepare immediately. But this business continuity management actually helps you to be ever ready. It will help you to be always ready with your mitigation plans. Now, if you see here, layer 1 restoration goes up, and then the sales happen, or the business action happens, or the operations start happening, and then there is a layer 2 restoration with the time. So it may take another 6 months. So it is again from 3 months to 6 months to 9 months to 12 months to 18 months, depending on what kind of crisis has hit your business, right? And then you get back to the normal activity. Now, let me show you something very important. There are few terminologies in business continuity which I want you to really, you can take a screenshot of this, or you can come back to my video again and listen to it again and again, just to understand that there are certain things during this from normal to abnormal activity, or maybe no activity. So from normal activity to no activity, it may be a 1 month gap, it may be 15 days gap, it may be 6 months gap, it may be 1 year gap. What you need to understand is there are these 5 powerful terminologies which you need to understand. One is MCA, which is called a mission critical activity. Now, list down all those critical activities, what you agree with customers, teams, and suppliers and stakeholders. Now, what are those mission critical activities? Like, for example, you say that, okay, I'm going to put everything on cloud. Nothing will be on the computer. This is my mission critical activity, that everything has to be on cloud, so that no attack, nothing can actually deter our business. So you are preparing yourself, number 1. Number 2 is empty pod. This is called maximum tolerable period of disruption. So how many times, for how much time you are allowing your business to be disrupted, right? The unit of time beyond which customer will impose penalty, or government may announce bailout package to recover your losses, right? So this is another empty pod, is another time frame, or the unit of time which you need to understand. So you have to collect all the awareness around this particular terminology. The third one is RTO, which is called recovery time objective. Now, what is recovery time objective? The unit of time within which you must restore minimum services, right? Minimum service. For example, you have 100 computers, or you have 50 computers, or you have 10 computers. You say that, okay, I'm going to recover my important 5 computers for my teams, which are critical ones. So, for example, who are interfaced with the customer, or maybe you have an ERP which has to be run on some users, critical users, or maybe your financial model, or maybe your tally, or your busy software, and anything which has to. So this is called, the value should be less than equal to empty pod. So empty pod is a maximum tolerable limit, and it should be less than that. For example, if the maximum tolerable limit of disruption you have decided and you are now aware of that either the customer has announced it, or because of his action or his imposition, or government has announced some package, you have to make sure that recovery time objective should be less than that. Then we have MBCO. It's called minimum business continuity objective, minimum services that must be restored at RTO. Now, you see, this is so powerful that, I have actually picked up some very specific points from business continuity standard. So that, I want to, in a very crisp manner, I want to make you understand that how important these things are for an MSME especially. Recovery point objective is the next one. That's called RPO. The RPO is basically unit of data loss expressed in time that is acceptable to business or customer. This is applicable for all tools and technologies where there is a restoration of database involved. So if your business involves a lot of data, it involves a lot of customer data, or probably operational data, or maybe equipment data, which your plant data, or maybe your customer specific data. So you have to make sure that you have to identify a unit of data loss expressed in time that is acceptable. So you have to say, okay, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. And there is a BIA study to be done, which is called Business Impact Assessment Study, which we do as consulting firm. We help you to really identify that what are those risks, possible risks, which tomorrow, if any kind of crisis happens, how you have to mitigate your crisis. Okay, now look at this. Now this is called resumption of activities. Once this normal activity is hit by an incident, there is this gap, which I explained to you, is a maximum tolerable period of disruption. Now, for example, you were in the crisis, and then you could not really recover it, you could not resume it, because you were there, you were trying to do it, but then you didn't find time. That's why you fall prey of recession, and then you had to really suffer a lot operationally, and customer wise, you lost the customers, your competitor picked up the customers and stuff like that. So but now, once you understand this, you have to say that, okay, if 1, 2, 3, these kind of crisis happens, this kind of incident happens in my factory or in my company, in my business, I'm going to have maximum tolerable period of disruption, not more than 7 days, not more than 15 days, not more than 3 months, depending on the mission critical activities, depending on the activities which you choose for yourself. Okay, then this is also called as a RTO. MBCO is basically the cutoff point, from where it starts taking off. The layer 1 restoration starts happening, and this is called minimum business continuity objective. You define that there. What are you going to do there? And then the layer 1 restoration happens. And then once you identify empty pod, MBCO, RTO very clearly, you define all the objectives, you define the time frames, you have the mitigation plans with you, you have the SOPs defined for that, you have policies defined for that, you will be better prepared. And you do internal audits to strengthen it further. Once you have internal audits, you strengthen it further, so that tomorrow when it actually happens, then you are better prepared and you don't allow that crisis to hit you badly. So for example, if you have planned empty pod of say 15 days, but if you are better prepared for that, probably when actually that crisis happens, you may be able to really restore it in 3 days flat. Right? That is the big advantage which you will achieve out of that. You may be asking a question, and I would really love to hear all of you. Put it in the comment box. Tell me, what is your experience of the past times? How you have been able to really transit from this what did you do in this empty pod? How much time it took you to really restore from this gap of recession, or this stoppage of your entire business? So I want you to comment and share your experience, so that all other people who are watching this video on YouTube or anywhere, so you will be able to really be sharing your experience with other people, so that they can also learn from you, and we create a community of business leaders, MSME owners, so that they become successful with less amount of effort. Okay, now there are some impact of criticality. Because of these crises, there are you have to understand the impact of criticality. So criticality categories are of four types: mission critical, vital, important, and minor. So all those activities which we do in BIA study, which is a business impact assessment study, we help companies in identifying the different categories of criticality, and then you rank them. You put them under color codes, like these are the red category items, these are green category, yellow category, blue category. So you classify them based on your own situation, based on your own. You don't have to copy paste this fundamental from anywhere. Once you understand the system, once you understand the process, you can do it for yourself and customize it. So before I end this video, I would like you to really just listen to me on this. I'm going to share with you now 10 actions you have to take to recover from recession at any given point of time. So if there is a 1 quarter or 2 quarter or 3 quarter breakdown in your business and you're not able to really take off, you're not able to really do so, you have to take, first of all, you have to take these 10 actions. Number one is you have to understand the basic terminology of business continuity management system, which I have already explained to you. You can go back to the video, watch it again, and you can make notes, and you can actually train your people on this particular topic. Now, number two is define and agree the mission critical activities, tasks, and services. Number three is identify teams as a core or maybe cross-functional teams as revenue generating or non-revenue generating activities. So you can create different teams to really mitigate those risks which you have already planned or you have already assessed with when you are in a normal condition. So you don't have to do it when the fire happens. You have to do it in well advance. That's why we do mock drills. That's why we do fire drills, because you are better prepared for the crisis. You are better prepared for those things which may happen tomorrow, because everything is uncertain. You don't know what will hit tomorrow. Undergo business impact analysis and results in determining role of business with its customers, teams, suppliers, and stakeholders. These are the four important people in our business: our customers, our teams, internal stakeholders, our suppliers, our vendors, and our stakeholders, our investors, our bankers, our stakeholders who have some stake in the company. Maybe they might have bought some shares from your company or stuff like that. Number five is continuity capability risk assessment. Now, this is something which you need to understand and do, so that you have identified the dependency of 4 outages and then challenges their existence restoration capability. So you have to make sure that you are ready for dealing and mitigating with that particular risk. Number 6 is continuity strategy in layer 1 and layer 2 is defined and agreed. So continuity strategy is that once I showed you that when the layer 1 restoration happens, what are those activities which are you probably might have to train your people. You may have to exercise an administrative control on teams. You might have to bring them in one room, strategize with them, make them ready for how they deal with the new situation or new normal in a different manner, so that they are better prepared for the worst case scenario tomorrow. Right? So this is very important, the continuity strategy. Then continuity plan is documented, and the team takes ownership of the determined plan or that documented plan. This is very important. Number 8 is business continuity plan is tested, validated, audited, approved. So this is done by a third-party agency, or you can have a team of specialized auditors who will go unbiased and check whether the business continuity plan is actually battle tested. You actually go through all those kinds of ifs and buts, whys and do why analysis, that if something happens, what can be done next. And then the internal reviews by teams. This is very important, to check what is happening, whether the study was done properly, whether the assessment was done properly, whether you have identified those SOPs and policies right or not, all those risks have been identified or mitigated properly or not. And last but not the least is that when everything is tested, when everything is planned, when everything is reviewed, then a final approval and sign off by top management, a business owner, is a must. Because once he or she signs this particular plan, then only you will be able to execute it without any issue, without any challenge, right? So I hope that this video will give you a complete insight that if there is any crisis which hits your business for more than 2 quarters, and I would say, why 2 quarters, even 1 quarter, maybe even 1 month, you should not have any problem whatsoever in mitigating that crisis as quickly as possible, because you are an entrepreneur, you are a business owner. You cannot afford recession, you cannot afford a discontinuity in your business, because there are a lot of stakeholders who are involved in your business. You are a responsible entrepreneur. Your leadership is of great importance. You have to take the leadership forward, and you have to make sure that all the planning, all the policies, all the strategies have to be done in a very methodical manner, in a very scientific manner, because there are international standards available. It's only that most of the I would say 99% of MSMEs do not really want to be aware about that. They don't want to really learn new things. So today's modern world teaches you technology, teaches you digital marketing, content writing. That's fine, but there are many traditional, or I would say formidable systems, internationally, which companies are using. Why can't MSMEs use that? Why can't MSMEs really adopt those new strategies based on how multinational companies or multinational SME companies, in Europe, in Germany, in America, in Japan are doing? Why can't India can do it? India can also do it, and we have been doing it for the last 40 years, because the journey of the quality management, for example, started way back in 1987. So since then, India has really developed itself. But the problem with MSMEs is that they are sleeping beauties. MSMEs have to wake up. MSMEs have to really learn new things in a different manner, or just get a coach, get a mentor who can actually help you to really do all of this stuff. If you don't have the capability, if you don't have the time, if you don't have the interest, if you don't have the focus on these kind of things, doesn't matter. You can focus on something very important than this. Maybe you may have to focus on customer acquisition more than risk management. That is your choice. But you can actually hire a coach, you can hire a consultant, you can hire an expert really to get these things done. But don't ever take it easy. You have to take it seriously, because business is a serious one. You have to mind your business. You have to, because your stakeholders are involved with it. So you cannot take it lightly. So I'm really grateful to you for listening to me all this while, and I hope that you have already subscribed to my channel, you have liked this video, and you have commented your comment, whatever you have, your expression is about this risk management and business continuity. I hope to hear from you in my comment box, and I'll catch you again. And stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, and be informed of these kind of valuable videos, powerful videos to all of you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.